I bought this Rockpot. It's essentially a crock pot, but you use this rock. You get your little hook it. You heat this over a fire or your stove or whatever source of heat. Heat that thing up, get it piping hot for, you know, half an hour or so, give or take. Then you take your pot. On the bottom side, you see those little semicircles. Those line up with those little ears. And so, pow. Throw your food in there. This, something I learned, you're supposed to put your food in there and then set this on top of the rock while the rock is heating in the fire. Little cooling thing, not 100, like a cooling rack, not 100% sure. I guess maybe if you take it out of here, I don't know, but it came with it. You're supposed to heat, here's your thermometer, set this on there and it tells you how hot your stone's getting. So that came with it. This is the deluxe or whatever, the full kit and caboodle that came with the little bag. There's a couple of like other little pots that come in for like your spaghetti and sauce, but those haven't come in yet. Here's this little, I assume it's some kind of like steam release. It's right here. It's just like a little bowl that you can hear it. It came with an extra one of those. Obviously, instructions. We'll read those and go over them. Your little grabber, it collapses to fit, and then you can put your lid right there. And so, yeah, there's styrofoam still on it. It came packaged really well, but there's no cords or anything like that. It's just heated through that rock. And then this is double wall insulated, so it won't get hot. Then your lid will, even with this, you can serve right out of it. And then this goes down in there and locks. And then, you know, you've got your handles. Pull it out of the way. And then say you're, you know, going on your gambler, camping, or whatever you're doing. Boom, throw it in there. Something else I like is that this bag has a little bit of extra space for, say, you know, you've got, you know, your kitchen stuff, your, you know, tongs or whatever. You can still kind of, you know, fit those in there. It probably would have been nice to have had, you know, another pocket on here or something so you could set, you know, spices or something. But anyways, there's that. So I've seen a few reviews on this, and obviously this literally came in the mail earlier today, and I'm kind of not a huge fan of like unboxing videos because it's brand new. I have no experience using it yet, so I can't speak to it. But I'm gonna throw this pork shoulder in there tomorrow morning and cook it. Well, heat it, right? Put the rock on the stove, turn the stove on, throw this in the pot on top of that, and then you know, we're gonna test this immediately. And then after I do this, we'll try chili, we'll try pasta. You can bake bread in it, evidently. I don't know that I'll do that, but maybe just to really put it through its paces, we'll test it and see if it works. The next morning, I got a pork shoulder in there. I put some pineapple juice in there just to kind of like help cover the bottom, and a couple chunks of pineapple fell in there, so no big deal. That's what that's about. So hopefully if we do this right, it will be you know, pulled pork for dinner. And now we wait. It's been 22 minutes or so. The pineapple juice is boiling away, and this is already starting to kind of brown. So she's hot. All right, it's been right at 30 minutes. I'm gonna move the pot off, throw the old thermometer on there. It's a thermometer. I call it a thermometer. And we'll see what it do. Let me say, while the thermometer's heating up, these handles coming off the stove are hot. So, you know, even though they're like, oh, it's cold to the touch, this, when it's first off the stove, it's real toasty. So I'm still heating this. It's been 30 minutes. This thermometer just moves at its own pace. Oh, so slowly. So I put the this probe thermometer on here just as a, you know, for some kind of reference. And there you can see it's not quite 140 degrees. It may be, it's still climbing. So yeah, this is real hot, even though it's plastic. And, you know, it is what it is. Oh, let's see if it'll focus. Yeah, it's just over 140 degrees. So, I mean, you can touch it, but not for long. So this is taking forever. I've probably waited almost 5 minutes. It's not hit 500 degrees yet. Man, let me see if I can... There's some kind of discoloration right there. Not 100% sure what. Maybe just something left over from the manufacturing process. But anyways. And we're back. So, like I was saying, this is real hot. I guess that's what that little stands for. Anyways, let's just stab this in there and see where we're at. Right off the bat. We'll give it a second to instant read. It's right at about 100 degrees or so from this edge. The inside, the thickest part was still a little bit cooler. And so that's just after taking it off the stove. The rock is still heating. I'm still waiting on the temperature for that. Well, it's been 15 more minutes, so a total of 45 minutes has been cooking, and it's only gotten up to the 550. That red zone is where it says to remove the rock, but I ain't got all day, so I'm just going to pull it now. Alright, it is 7:36 a.m. That cooked for about 45 minutes. It is in there. I'm going to let it do its thing. I've got to go to work today, so I will come back when I get home and check temperatures and see how it went, and we'll let you know. I don't know if I'd call that a disappointment, but if I continue to make these little videos to test this thing, I think getting like one of those infrared thermometers might be a wise investment to tell the temperature of the stone. Obviously, while camping or whatever, just having the little thermometer might be the easiest way of doing it. But infrared thermometer is going to be way quicker and more reliably accurate. This should travel, so I decided that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take it with me to work. I'm not going to eat it, but you know, just to check the ruggedness, make sure all this stuff fits in the bag, and we'll go from there. I would definitely describe this bag as oversized. So you can, I mean, you can fit all kinds of, like my whole arm fits down in there. You could fit all kinds of stuff. Just to give you some frame of reference, I used 3 of these large, spice containers will fit in there. And, there's still some room. So, it's got plenty of room. This fits down in there nice and easy, but I figure it's kind of thin, so it might get bent if this thing's bouncing around. So I'll probably put it on top and we'll just see how it rides. All right, got her stuck in the front seat. We'll see. Another little update. So it is 30 degrees according to the van, and there it is. I'm gonna be riding around with me. So I will keep you posted. We'll check it maybe at lunchtime. I don't know. I got a busy day today, so I might not jack with it until I get done with work. All right. What? There's just water. Anyways, it is 1:21, so however many hours that has been, This was, I'll call, a catastrophic failure. So there it is. It barely was hitting 120 degrees, give or take. And so I've just put it in the actual, Hamilton Beach crock pot. I'm going to start cooking it that way. And then we're going to do pulled pork with some sweet baby rays and some Hawaiian buns. I'm here in the Gambler, and just wanted to say that it would be easy to say that was a catastrophic failure. But I think it was really just more of a learning experience than a failure. I'm not ready to give up on it yet. So some of the things, I have ordered an infrared thermometer. So I'm going to check the temperature of the stone before I pull it off. That being said, I left it on there for 45 minutes on high heat on a gas stove. I should have imagined it would be plenty hot. But we'll see. We'll document the actual temperature. And then also a 6.5 pound pork shoulder might have been on the outside edge of that thing's capability. And so, I don't blame it, right? Let's not get confused. It's just a really hot rock. That's all it is, right? Welcome back to the kitchen. The pulled pork was an abject failure, so we're going to test 1 gallon of water, or just room temperature water, how long it takes for the water to boil, but also after 30 minutes we will just stick this in the rock pot and we'll see how long the water stays hot. Also, I noticed that my rock wasn't perfectly centered on my largest burner, so I tried to push it and pieces of the rock scraped off here. And so I stopped that immediately, but just a heads up, this rock is significantly softer than the gas stove range top thing. Alright, it's been just at an hour. There you can see there's a little bit of a boil going on. Hardly a fast, rapid boil. Did I say hour? I meant half hour. Okay. It's been the half hour that they tell you to cook it on the stove for. See, we're getting there. Boy, it's getting toasty. My hand is getting toasty. Anyways, there's about 200. So, water boils at 212. So, right at half hour is when we start getting some, light boiling going on. We'll give it a little bit longer, and we'll watch it come to a rolling boil. Yeah, so when I said we'd give it a little bit longer, it was literally 60 seconds, and here we go. Alright, I forget these get hotter than a firecracker on the 4th of July, so gonna have to do something about that. Maybe write caution hot, or I don't know, get a glove or something. These get real warm. Like I said, I got an infrared gun coming. We'll hit it and we'll see how hot that is. But this was right at an hour. It's in there. I've got things to do today. I've got a doctor's appointment this morning, and so when I get home from the doctor, current time 6:53 a.m. We'll check it. Yeah, just so you guys can see, there's some steam leaking here, but also it's jetting out of there. All right, it is 9:17 a.m. Let's see exactly how hot this is. Ooh, it's still steamy, so let's see what we can see. Man, that is cranking. It's been just over a couple hours, or just under a couple hours. I don't know what it's been. I don't remember when I started this. It's right around a 7. So, let's see, where are we at? 190. Are we gonna hit 190? We're getting close. Sorry, this is so steamy. this is a high quality video here. It's probably barely hitting 190. And I haven't opened this at all, so we'll say 190. We'll start a little chart. All right, it's 10:53, so I'm gonna check it. When I had noticed earlier, when I closed this, there was a bit of a gap here for some reason, and so maybe this just didn't like get latched right or something. I don't know. I don't feel like it. I don't know. Maybe I messed it up. Anyways, let's see what the temperature is. Still pretty warm. Oh, I did go and get a Harbor Freight thing. Oh, this says it's 150. Oh, it's getting warmer. We'll say 160.2. Seems to be the hot spot. Oh, over there. Yeah, 160.5. Let's see what the old school thermometer says. We're looking for 160. And it's been, yeah, right at 3 hours. So, I mean, that's perfectly acceptable. Yeah. Oh, oh. Yeah. Just, yeah, 162, 164, somewhere in there. Pretty 165, maybe. Yeah, so certainly close. So, I would say we're good to go. Make sure it's actually locked. Next, I bought a number 10 can of Bush's beans. I'm not sponsored by Bush's. Just went and bought some beans. The number 10 can weighs 7 pounds, 5 ounces. Once this stops hitting 140 degrees, we'll just dump the water. Then we'll start with the beans, see how that goes. So it is I don't know what time it is. One something. Anyways, it's been like 122. So this is just under 140. There's spots of it that are, that'll hit over 140. But I'm calling it, that's obviously not going to work. So that's whatever, 5.5 hours, something like that. So we'll pull it out and we'll put the beans in there. Just for good measure, we'll see what the stone is registering at 143. So the stone is still very hot. I wouldn't touch it. All right, so I am probably going to wrap up this video because it's getting kind of long as it is, I'm sure. I will do the baked beans in a separate video. I'm still going to do, they're actually cooking on the stove right now. I am planning on starting a fire at some point, maybe this weekend, we'll see. And, heating that thing up out there. That being said, I've got a bunch of pulled pork and I'm fixing to have 7 pounds of beans I'll have to eat. So it might not be this weekend. Might have to put it off for a little bit. But yeah, overall, the pulled pork didn't work exactly as I wanted. And the water retained temperature above 140 degrees for 5.5 hours, give or take. And so we'll see. The beans should have more thermal mass. And so they should stay hot longer, but we'll just have to see. Thanks for watching this video. If you have any other ideas of things to cook or other tests you'd like to see me do with this thing, let me know. I do plan to, I've got a fishing trip coming up in March, and then the Kansas Gambler's coming up sometime in the spring. And so I'll be using it a bunch, and I'll try to make little updated videos just from time to time so you can stay informed with, how it's going.